Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my live series of Learn and Earn with Anushri. I am Anushri, and if you're here for the first time, I'm a digital marketing mentor, and I help people all around the world to start their own digital marketing business without any experience. So, welcome back. And today I have a very special guest, Devina, and she is all the way from New Zealand. She is originally from Fiji, and one thing I want to tell about her is she takes challenges as opportunities, and I love that about her. The reason I'm saying this because I remember when she was a host and I was her guest. I was very scared, and I think I made a promise to her that whenever I'm hosting in future, and she was the one who pushed me to host. Okay, so thank you, Devina, for doing that for me. And so, yeah, here I am inviting her as a guest, and we're gonna hear a lot of good things from her. So let's start. Thank you, Devina, for coming up here on my series of interviews. And let's start a little bit about yourself. Let just introduce yourself and tell my followers who you are and where you're from and what you do.
Okay, thank you so much, Anushri, for inviting me to your followers and your page. I am grateful for the invite, and I'm happy to know that I pushed you a little to host. I would say, like you have said, my name is Devina. I am originally from Fiji, but now I'm based in Auckland, New Zealand for the last 2 years as an online mentor, a finance professional in the supply chain sector. As by passion, what do I love? I love to help others unlock financial freedom, give them personal growth. And through my journey of 20 years in finance experience, I empower individuals to believe in themselves, build wealth, and through side hustles, and create a fulfilling life with purpose, memories, and independence. So that
Wow.
is it from my side.
Amazing. Yes. And that's what I love about you. And I actually look up to you on those, your opportunities and how you take your challenges. I just love that. So let's start today's topic. Today's topic is about building your confidence in the online world. And how did you overcome shyness and self-doubt and everything that I think 90% of the world is facing right now. They want to start this business, but I think they're scared of coming up online and what people will think and blah blah blah, all those sort of setbacks that is not allowing them to come online. So let's talk about that. My very first question would be, what was your biggest fear or insecurity when you first started showing up online, and how did you overcome that?
Well, that's a very good question, and that's always the question that people will ask when they join as well. Honestly, I was terrified not to be taken very seriously. I'd compare myself to others. You see pros who are very polished, very successful, more together. I always used to second guess myself on every word I take, every small videos I make, because I'm an introvert, and this is like myself. So what helped me shift this refraining from, saying so negative things about myself? I stopped trying to be an expert, just started by reminding myself what was my main reason and what were the few steps behind me. People, what happens is that there may be people behind me, but I would love to inspire people and I wish to guide them as well. So I have created like a safe space where I would talk to the camera. I do my reels sometimes, videos during my working hours. I join small groups and I share freely and remind myself that, confidence doesn't come from doing it. It's never going to happen if you keep waiting. You just have to feel ready.
Yeah,
That is it from.
absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And I think people, the first thing, I was not like that. Again, same thing, right? Camera was not my thing. I was very shy. Even in a class of 5, I would not raise my hand because I think people would laugh at me. That was my thing, right? So coming up here on camera, thousands of people are watching me. It is a big change. And now I think people, when I talk to other people, if they want to start a business, and they're like, I am not like you that I can speak up online. I'm like, I was not like this. So I think first thing, you have to remove yourself from comparing the person who is thousand folds ahead of you. You can look up to them, but you cannot compare with them, right? You cannot compare your chapter 1 to a chapter 40 of someone else. So that's the one thing I think we should consider when you're starting new. Amazing. Yes, yes, thank you so much for sharing that. And I think, yeah, I hope people can understand on, how you can change your mindset is everything. Let's get to the next question. My next question is, how can someone shift their mindset? Yeah, there you go. From I am not good enough to my story matters. Like, how do you have that intensity of, sharing your story confidently to inspire others rather than just keeping it to yourself?
Well, thanks. Yeah, I would say mindset shift starts with, understanding that worthiness isn't earned. It's already belongs to you. For example, the idea when you saying to, like, you have to be qualified. I need to be experienced. I need to have more confidence before I need to speak up. But guess what? It's a lie. It's a conditional lie to believe that. And here's something I remind myself and also the people in the journey I've come across. Someone is waiting to hear your story because
Yes.
it reflects your own.
Yeah.
You don't need to have a huge platform or a picture of a perfect brand. You need to just be real, honest, be consistent, and have the heart of assisting others grow. Try this simple exercise. For example, write down 5 hard things that you've overcome and or grown throughout your life. Those aren't your memories, they are just evidence that your voice has power. And that story has is someone's inspiration and might be the praying to hear that at some moments, I would say. That's it from my side.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was amazing. So yes, and I agree to that because when we start, there is a point when we look up to someone that's else story and we can relate, and then there are some people behind us who is actually waiting for us to tell our story and relate, right? So the chain reaction goes along the way. But imagine when you stop, then that change stops. So yeah, I never get afraid to tell your story because there is someone in this world who is waiting to listen to your story, right? And I think this business platform gave us that opportunity to tell our stories. Imagine us working into a 9 to 5 at a cubicle, we would not have that opportunity to tell our stories, right? So yeah, I would be very thankful to this business that it allowed us to come up and share so that thousands of people can get inspired. So yeah, yeah, that's nice. And next one is, what are 2 to 3 practical habits or daily actions you do, or you can have someone take to build confidence online, or even if they're introvert, that what would you suggest they should do?
Well, this is the normal experience, I would say, for most of us. Like, I would rather, first of all, would have create like a confidence folder. Let's put it. Every time someone sends you like a like, share your post, for example, if you're on the social media, tells you or you have helped them by your message, even a screenshot, keep it on a folder and see and revisit them and see what that you are doubting yourself. It's a proof that that statement and voice matters. Second would be start with micro content. Like why don't you go live? Just you don't have to go live for an hour. Start by posting some quick thoughts, sharing your quotes you love, basically, or doing voiceovers as reels, like which normally people do. Small steps build your comfort and makes you showing up feels you of it makes you confident and feel less overwhelming.
Right.
Last but not least was establish a show up rituals, like choose a time, day, a drink, for example, a playlist or an outfit that makes you feel good and happy. Anchor your content, basically create to calm yourself down and your overwhelming habits so that your brain connects to the confidence instead of the anxieties. So that is it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think the last one, it reminds me, now I don't care, like now I am like whatever, but before, when I started speaking up online, my videos would go up only when I have a good hair day. That, like, if I have nicely freshly washed hair and nicely set done, that's the only day I'll go online. If I have like crazy oily hairs, I would not go online or I would not make a video. So yeah, I think that's a good point, that what you do, you can do whatever makes you feel comfortable, happy, and live. And one thing I want to add on is, I've heard someone saying this. I was following a good bunch of mentors who are confident enough. I think Ray Higdon was one of them when we had him in our convention. So he was, I could relate him a lot, because he was very underconfident person when he started, and now he's like rocking the world, right? So he said that I was very underconfident. The one thing I did is practice in front of the mirror. So if you want to start something, and if you are afraid of people, you should not be afraid of yourself. That's the one thing. So go up on your yeah, go up in front of your mirror and start practicing that. That would could be your first step of speaking up. And you will never know, like, you can speak up so nicely. Like, for example, I would never know that I can actually talk nicely on camera. If I have not come up here, I would have never known that I could do this, right? So you have to do it, you have to practice it, and you have to keep that consistency going on. Yeah, that was a good advice, right? And the last one, okay, I promise this is the last one. Okay, what would you say to either a mom, an immigrant, or a beginner who feels like their voice might not be heard on online space? Like, I've had someone who's like, who's going to listen to me, right? So what would you tell those mindset people who is like, nobody's going to listen to my story or hear me out?
Well, I know this is one common question, and people do think this. Well, to all those moms, you're juggling million things. I would say that you are the definition of basically strength. Your stories of showing up in the midst of, all the chaos, all the distractions we have, are exactly that, someone who needs to be actually heard. You don't need a big, perfect, curated platforms. You just need to be real. And for migrants, for example, who feels too different, I would say,
Yeah.
your background basically is a bridge. Why? It's not a barrier. You have the voice of caring cultures, diverse cultures across continents. You have perseverance, you have adaptability, and that's more powerful. People who want to learn from those, you've walked the hard roads, and also still show up.
Yep.
And last but not least, to the beginners, someone who is starting at ground zero. The people who inspire you the most weren't born confident or camera ready, let's put it. They
Yeah.
started by keep on going.
Yeah.
Your beginning is beautiful, and your journey matters as much as your destination. So all these people belong in a room, and also you deserve a space in the online, and your voice needs to be heard.
Yeah. Oh my God. That
That's
was
that.
amazing. Yes. I loved it. I loved it. Yes. Because, it's always that setback that is not allowing us to be successful. That is, it is in our mind, I think, that goes on, that, what if is the only barrier, I think, that is not allowing a person to be successful. So I think we should just shut down all the negative voices and just do what your heart says, right? And that's all I think that we can come up with this interaction. And if you want to go online, because I think for Gujaratis it's very hard to accept that we can go online, I think. So I had so many people who is like, I don't know how to talk in how to convert in better English. I don't know how to speak up on camera, or I can never imagine myself doing this. But I just want to say this: you are a multilingual person, and our platform is a multilingual platform. If you go on our platform, you can find all the languages you have heard of. So why not just come up and show your talent and discover yourself, right? So that's I think this was very important for me as well, because I was one of them. And thank you for bringing back my past, and how crossed all the barriers, how you crossed all the barriers. So this was a really good talk. Thank you so much. Do you have anything, a last word to say to our audiences?
Well, I think, in terms of what I have to say, be a doer and an action taker in life. Never ever tell anyone about what you want to do. I mean, like what you really want, because sometimes once you speak it out loud, the effectiveness does not happen, basically. So just
Right.
do it and keep moving forward. I think procrastinating is not reality. It is your actions that makes the
Matters.
difference in your
Yep.
life. Yeah, so that is it from my side.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. And everyone, my audience, Devina's audience, if you are wondering what we do, make sure you go to our websites. It's in our bio. So go to our websites and register for a free webinar because you want to watch that webinar. It is free, 90 minutes of your time, and that's it. It might change your life. And always you can message any of us and ask us questions of what the business is about, and we'll be happy to assist you further. So thank you everyone for coming up and watching us live. Thank you, Devina, for your time. And I'll see you
Thank you.
again. Till then, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep chasing your goals and dreams. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.